emergency ta call ho ke ambulance ta call ho ke as soon as possible چې څومره زر کولی شي.
What type of vehicle uses an amber flashing beacon on a dual carriageway? A fire engine. An ambulance. A tractor. A doctor on call.
What type of vehicle uses an amber flashing beacon on dual carriageway? امبر موترهایی که سرعتش کم می باشه و امبر بیکن می داشته باشه. کم چه زیاد که موتری چه سپیدی کم میگی با زیاد لایتونه ولده. A tractor.
What restrictions apply to people who have a provisional driving license? They can't drive over 30 miles per hour. They can't drive at night. They can't drive with more than one passenger. They can't drive unaccompanied.
What restrictions apply to people who have a provisional driving license? So provisional driving license لري څه شي نه منع کړی شوي دي چې څه شي باید ونه کړي. They cannot drive unaccompanied. یوازې driving نشي کولی.
What does this sign mean? Contraflow cycle lane. With flow cycle lane. Cycles and buses only. No cycles or buses. What restrictions apply to people? What does this sign mean? Contraflow cycle lane. With flow cycle lane. Cycles and buses only. No cycles or buses.
What does this sign mean? This sign someone it's a with flow cycle lane. But they get so غلطی کنه with flow and contraflow کی. With flow contraflow چې وي هغه دغه لري arrow لري. Contraflow cycle lane there will be an arrow coming from opposite direction. Okay, so this is with flow. If there is no arrow, that's with flow. If you see an arrow coming from opposite direction, that's contraflow. The word contra means opposite. If you just remember the word contra.
What's a rumble device designed to do? Alert you to low tire pressure. Give directions. Prevent cattle escaping. Alert you to a hazard.
What's a rumble device designed to do? Rumble دغه ته وي چغې وهلو ته rumble وي. کله هم چې موټر د دې د پاسه ورشي موټر هم ډېر زیات ګړبېږي. وقتی که موتر در سر این مثل چی وارز جمپای خورد وقتی که موتر در سرش بره موتر گراب میکنه. این از خاطری چیز to alert you to a hazard که برایتان آشکار بوده. امی جا hazard چی است؟ دلتا hazard څه شده؟ په دې ویډیو کې په دې دغه کې hazard څه شده؟ What's the hazard in this picture, guys? What is the hazard? Does anyone know? Roundabout ahead, exactly. There, that's the roundabout ahead. دلته چې دی roundabout دی. Now concealed level crossing نه دی roundabout دی ګوره ښه. هغلته کو ګورئ دی نه دغه دام کتلی که نه د شین ساین بورډ باندې چې یو سپین خط دی د دې څه معنی ده چې roundabout چې دی 100 yards ahead دی. roundabout 100 yards ahead دی. او که تاسو د roundabout ساین وګورئ اگر ساین roundabout ته دیده باشین او د داخلی hazard می باشه. باشه ما برایتان نشان بدیم که یادتان بانه. اگر اینجا ببینین اینه این ساین roundabout های خورد نیک نورمال roundabout ها که است و در داخل hazard ساین می باشه. از او خاطر او هم hazard است. Okay. So what's a rumble device designed to do? Alert you to a hazard. What's the other answer for this question? Does anyone know another answer for the same question? to make you aware of your speed. To make you aware of your speed.
Which type of vehicle does this sign apply to? Long vehicles, heavy vehicles, high vehicles, wide vehicles.
Just give me a second, guys. 1 second. One second, guys. Okay. Which type of vehicle does this sign apply to? That's... Sorry, guys, just a second. Okay, so this is high vehicles. Okay, what about if you know these two marks, these black marks, if these were, one was here and one was in the other side, then what would that mean? See these black marks, they're on top and bottom. If these were at the right and left, what would that mean? Kura kudaga khaluna mungu guru da pass او لاندې دي کنه کدا خلاص تو چپ لاس ته ونه بیا به سمانه و بیا چې ده wide vehicles پس wide vehicle اگه می دو دانه چیز می بینین امی اگر در جای بالا و پایین طرف راست و چپ می بود آنسرش پس wide vehicles میشه تو بالا و پایین.
What does this sign mean? End of restriction. Free recovery ends. Lane ends ahead. End of motorway.
What does this sign mean? End of restriction. ایده کدام جای می باشه؟ همین ساین در کدام جای می باشه؟ در ساین پر کم زی کی وی where would we see this sign? Does anyone know where would we see this sign? Okay, so whenever there is a road works, whenever there is a road works, you will see this sign. Wait, where is the road work sign? So whenever there is a road work on any road works. 1 second, guys. Where's roadworks? Yeah. So whenever there is a roadworks, you will see this sign at the start of where roadwork starts, and when roadworks finishes, that's where you see this sign. And what's the reason for this? Because whenever there is a roadworks, there will be some kind of restrictions. There will be either you will be not allowed to use all the lanes, or there will be some restriction on the speed limit. وقتی که در هر جایی که سر کار می باشه یگان تا ممانعت می باشه در اوجا، یا خویی می باشه که یگان تا لین بند می باشه و یا یکی سرعت موترتان کم می باشه و وقتی که امی جای خلاص میشه، جایی که کار میکنه در سرک، وقتی که مساحه خلاص میشه پس امی ساین میه معنیش ایست که امو ساحه خلاص شد در جایی که ممانعت بود. ممانعت یا اگر کدام لین بند بود و یا اگر سرعت موترتان اگر کدام ممانعت بود که سرعتتان کم بانین، اما ممانعت حالی خلاص شد. What does this sign mean? So that's end of restriction. کله کم ځای کې چې روډ ورکس وي هلته په سټارټ کې دغه ساین وي، او چې کله روډ ورکس کم ختم شي نو هلته دا ساین راځي، مطلب ممانعت ختم شو. خیال مو کړی کله چې په سړک باندې کار رواني نو یا لینونه تنګ کړي وي یا کم لین بند کړی وي او یا دا وي چې سپیډ لیمټ را کم کړی وي، نو چې کله دا ساین راشي مطلب دا دی چې هغه څه شي نه موږ منې کړي او هغه ایریا اوس ختم شو، موږ کولی شو چې نورمل پروسس کې روان شو.
What should you do if you are being followed by an ambulance showing flashing blue lights? Brake harshly and stop well out into the road. Maintain your speed and course. Accelerate hard to get away from it. Pull over as soon as it's safe to do so.
What should you do if you're being followed by an ambulance showing flashing blue lights? تاسو یو موټر پسې روان یاستئ او هغه فلاشینګ بلو لایټ یې لګولي امبولانس پسې، نو تاسو پسې شاته امبولانس را روان دی و لایټونه یې لګولي، باید څه شی وکړئ؟ اگر پشتتون چی باشه، امبولانس باشه و چراغایش روشن، باید چی کنین؟ باید برایشان چی بدین؟ باید برایشان را بدید. تبریک. Okay, pull over as soon as it's safe to do so. باید در بغل موتورتان پارک کنین و برایشان اجازه بدین که بره دیگه، اگر تامین باشه، اگر کدام خطر نباشه.
You're driving past parked cars. What should you do if you see a bicycle wheel sticking out between the cars? Slow down and wave the cyclist across. Brake sharply and flash your headlights. Slow down and be prepared to stop for a cyclist. Accelerate past quickly and sound your horn.
You're driving past parked cars. What should you do if you see a bicycle wheel sticking out between the cars? تاسو ډرایوینګ کوئ، د سړک غاړې ته موټران ولاړ دي، هلته د سایکل ټیر مو ولیدو چې د موټرانو منځ کې راښکاره سو، نو باید څه شی وکړئ؟ Slow down and be prepared to stop for a cyclist. Slow down and be prepared to stop for a cyclist.
You want to turn right at a box junction. What should you do if there's oncoming traffic? Drive slowly into the box junction when signaled by oncoming traffic. Drive on. You can't turn right at a box junction. Wait in the box junction if your exit is clear. Wait before the junction until it's clear of all traffic.
You want to turn right at a box junction. What should you do if there is oncoming traffic? ګوره تاسو غواړئ چې په رنډاباټ کې ښي لاس ته تاو شئ، خو مخامخ موټران در باندې را روان وي، نو باید څه شی وکړئ؟ تاسو کې څه وویله چې د جنکشن نه به مخکې ودرېږئ که نه؟ ګوره تاسو چې کله ښي لاس ته تاویږئ او مخامخ نه در باندې موټران راسي، نو تاسو به څه شی کوئ؟ باکس جنکشن کې به ودرېږئ. wait in the box junction. دننه بیرون نه، دا بیفور دا ځای راځي ښه، او in the box junction دغه ځای دی، نو wait in the box junction if your exit is clear. You want to turn right at a box junction. What should you do if there is oncoming traffic? Wait in the box junction if your exit is clear. Okay, before the junction نه دی، before خب مخکې د junction نه، before معنی before کی است؟ قبل از junction. او معنی ای میده که باید ایجا استارت شوین. ایجا خود ضرورت نیست، وقتی که اگزیتتان خالی باشه میتونین در مابین همی باکس جنکشن استارت شوین و حتما باید برای یا رابطین که تیر شوینی باید ایجا استارت شوین، نه که ایجا یا بیفور جنکشن میگه. So wait in the box junction if your exit.
What does this sign mean? Rest area for lorries. All lorries use the hard shoulder. Lane for heavy and slow vehicles. Leave motorway at next exit.
What does this sign mean? Walaikum salam. What does this sign mean? That lane for heavy and slow vehicles. این لین چرا از خاطری چی می باشه؟ دا لین څه دپاره وي په موټروی کې؟ Why do you have crawler lane on the motorway? What's the reason? علتش چیست؟ از خاطری چی می باشه؟ از خاطری که دیگه در راه دیگه موترها را چیز بند نکنین، از خاطری او چون که اینجا اگر ببینین lane for heavy and slow vehicles یکی هست لین برای موترهای که وزنی باشه و یا سرعتش کم باشه برای واس، از خاطری چیز که یعنی اگه اینجا ببینین طرف راست 2 دانه لین است، طرف چپ وقتی که سرک بالا میرن بالایی باشه 3 دانه لین است، از خاطری چی همون اکسترا لین است، امی که از کرال لین است. از خاطری که موترهای که چیز است، موترهای چیز وزنی باشه یا سرعتش کم باشه بری واس، که چون که اگه یا موترهای کلان یا وزنی اگه دیگه لینا بره سرعت دیگه موترها رو خراب میکنه، یعنی رایشان بند میکنه. از او خاطر ایکس اضافی لین بری وا جور شده که وادایی بره که رای دیگه مردم بند نکنه. در اضافی لین ده دیده پاره ترسو در که موتری چه غټی دی یا وزن زیاتی یا سپیدی کمی هغه په دې لین کې لاړ سي ترڅو نور موټر چې په دې نورو لینونو کې زی دا غي مخه ونه نیسي یا دا غي سپیډ خراب نه کړي د دې د وجه ځکه دی خو تیز نشي تللی چې کله چړای وي نو د دې لپاره دا لین جوړ کړی. So what does this sign mean? Lane for heavy and slow vehicles. کوشش کوئ چې د سوال جواب نه ضروری دا دی چې تاسو ته ریزن پته وي چې
You're driving at night on an unlit road. What should you do if you're following another vehicle? Flash your headlights. Use dipped headlights. Switch off your headlights. Use full beam headlights.
You're driving at night on an unlit road. What should you do if you're following another vehicle? تاسو انلیت سرکی که چراغ نداشته باشه، انلیت بیرنا سرک چې چرته رڼا بالکل نوی لایټونه نوی، داسې سرک کې تاسو د شپې ډرایوینګ کوئ او مخې تم بل موټر رواني نو باید کم لایټونه استعمال کو. یوز ډیپټ هیډ لایټ. او که د شپې تاسو ډرایوینګ کو او په سرک باندې لایټونه نه وي، په سرک لایټونه نه وي مخکې درنه موټر نه روان، نو بیا به مو کم لایټونه استعمالوم. اگر شما از طرف شب درایوینگ میکردین و سرک چراغ نمی داشت و پیشرویتان اگر موتر نمی بود، پس کدام چراغ را یوز میکردین؟ پس کدام جواب میشد؟ این خو از خاطری که پیشرویتان دیگه موتر است نی. You're following another vehicle. بیا چه ده use full beam ها، بیا full beam ده. Dip light picture. Dip light is the normal the normal lights you see every day at night time. That's all dipped headlights. People, they don't use full beam or very bright lights. Okay, so use dipped headlights. اگر پیشرویتان دیگه موتر می باشه باید dipped headlights استعمال کنین. که مخیطه مکله هم موتر وی باید dipped headlights استعمال کنین. که شاعت وی درنا گوره که سوال دسی راشی you're driving at night on unlit road, what should you do if you're followed by another vehicle? If you are followed, ګوره که دلته ولګي you are following، تاسو بل پسې روان یاست. که سوال کې دا راوستي چې you are followed by another vehicle، نو په هغې صورت کې بیا موږ full beam استعمالو ها. if you're followed چې شاته وي درنه نو بیا full beam، چې کله درنه مخکې you are following نو بیا سیده dipped headlight. ایده فکرتان باشه اگر اینجا چیز است نی او بله اگر شاته بی بیا فول بیم نه، اگر پشتتان کس باشه در اون صورت فول بیم. اگر پیشرویتان باشه اینجا ببینین you are following another vehicle، شما پشت دیگه درایور هستین. اگر پشتتان باشه پس فول بیم استعمال میکنیم. ایده فکرتان باشه که تلفظ اگر تغییر بده غلط نشوینده. Okay, so you're following another vehicle at night on an unlit road. What should you do if you're following another vehicle? Use dipped headlight. ایرا فهمیدین که چی گفتیم؟ پدی پویسی تماسوبل معلوم. Good.
How will a heavy load on your roof rack affect your vehicle's handling? It will improve the road holding. It will reduce the stopping distance. It will reduce stability. It will make the steering lighter.
Manana bro. How will a heavy load on your roof rack affect your vehicle's handling? چې کله مو په موټر کې وزن ډیر وي، په د موټر په شات باندې وزن ډیر وي نو په موټر به متاثر وي. Reduce stability.
You see a horse rider as you approach a roundabout. What should you do if they are signaling right but keeping well to the left? Keep close to them. Stay well back. Cut in front of them. Proceed as normal.
Wa alaikum salam. You see a horse rider as you approach a roundabout. What should you do if they're signaling right but keeping well to the left? Why would a horse rider keep to the left? سوارا نزدیک رندباد که میشه چرا در طرف خود را طرف چپ نگاه میکنه از خاطر چی؟ کلسی از سوار والا چې کله دغه ته رسیږي رندباد ته چپ طرف ته ولی پاتې کیږي د څه د وجې for safety exactly برای تامینشان ما باید در این صورت چی کنیم؟ not for better view for safety stay well back ما باید عقب ایره چی میگه داری؟ عقب باشین که چی میگه ایره؟ باید نور هم تیرا ورسته شو stay well back باید ورسته تی اوسیگو stay well back با پشت نیوروز کس عقب باشیم ها
You're on a 3-lane motorway. Which lane are you in if there are red reflective studs on your left and white ones to your right? In the right-hand lane. On the hard shoulder. In the left-hand lane. In the middle lane.
Oh goodness, good nice. Congratulations. You're on a 3-lane motorway. Which lane are you in if there are red reflective studs on your left and white ones to your right? Okay, where are red reflective studs? Okay, if you know where red reflective stud would be, do you know where is red reflective studs? If you remember the RWA rule, red the کدام طرف می باشه؟ Red reflective studs. Red left, exactly. Red طرف left. Red is on the left, amber is on the right, white in the middle, and left hand lane is also in the left, so it's in the left hand lane. Okay, there's no such question. I don't think it's gonna come, but I'm just gonna ask you, if there are red studs on your right and red studs on your left, which lane are you in? I'm just asking. I don't think it's gonna come, but I'm just in case if it comes. I doubt it, but still. چې ستاسو خیل هستم سره studs وی left side تم سره studs وی نو تاسو به کم ځای کې اگر طرف راستی تم سرخ باشه طرف چپ هم سرخ studs باشه در کدام جای هستید؟ Does anyone know? I don't think it's gonna come in the test, but I'm just for your information. If red studs are on your right and red on your left. Any idea? Hard shoulder. Well done, Zerman. You're on a hard shoulder. On a hard shoulder, on both sides, there are red studs, okay? Hard shoulder, exactly. In case if it comes. The hard shoulder kias? طرف راست و طرف چپ هر دو طرفش چیز می باشه.
You plan your route before starting a journey. Why should you also plan an alternative route? You may find you have to pay a congestion charge. Your original route may be blocked. Your maps may have different scales. You may get held up by a tractor.
You plan your route before starting a journey. Why should you also plan an alternative route? تاسو چیرته ځئ ولې باید مخکې د مخکې دوهمه لاره هم باید تاسو سنجولی وي در یک جایی که میرین چرا باید در فکرتان دیگر راه را در فکرتان گرفته باشین؟ از خاطری که امو راهی که شما پلان کرده باشین اگر او بند شده باشه از خاطر اکسیدنت و یا از خاطر کار یا دیگر گپ از او خاطر باید دیگر راه باید در فکرتان گرفته باشین. You plan your route before starting a journey. Why should you also plan an alternative route? Your original route may be blocked. گزینه دوم داشته باشیم. بله. همی کل ویدیو که هست هر شب که همی چیز میکنیم همی رو اوجا میندازیم دیگه کل کورس هموجا هست و
How
بغیر
much
20
more
سال
fuel will you use by driving at 70 miles per hour, compared with driving at 50 miles per hour? About 100%. About 15%. About 5%. About 75%.
How much more fuel will you use by driving at 70 miles per hour compared with driving at 50 miles? Okay, what's the difference between 70 and 50? What's the difference between 70 and 50? هیچ یک فرق داره 50 و 70 20 20. So what's closer to 20? That's 15. Okay, so that's 15. That's one thing if you want you can remember it. Hope. The how much more fuel will you use by driving at 70 miles per hour comparing with driving at 50? The 50 په ځای کو په یو کې سپیډ کې لاړ سئ نو ستاسو د موټر مصرف به څومره زیات شي about 15%.
What does it mean if you see a pedestrian with a dog that has a yellow or burgundy coat? The pedestrian is an older person. The pedestrian is a dog trainer. The pedestrian is deaf. The pedestrian is colorblind.
What does it mean if you see a pedestrian with a dog that has a yellow or burgundy coat? Pedestrian is deaf. The pedestrian is deaf. و قبلی سوال که بود سوالی بود که اگر در جای 50 از موتر در 70 درایو کنین مصرفتون چقدر بالا میره 15%.
How can you reduce the environmental harm caused by your motor vehicle? Keep engine revs low. Drive faster than normal. Only use it for short journeys. Don't service it.
How can you reduce the environmental harm caused by your motor vehicle? مننه جی دا ساسو موټر چې چاپیریال ته تاوان رسوي په هغې کې څنګه کمې راوستی شي موترتون که برای محیط نقصان میرسنه دا او چی قدم میتونین که دا او کمی بیارین keep engine revs low. Keep engine revs low. اکسلریتر زیاد استعمال نکنید سخت استعمال نکنید اکسلریتر چې دی دا تیز استعمال نکړئ اکسلریټر چې ډیر پریس کی هغه ته دغه وي چې های ریوینګ ورته وي او چې په آرام استعمالي هغه ته لو ریوینګ وي اکسلریټر از سخت استعمال میکنین او های ریوز میشه اگر با آرام استعمال میکنین او لو ریوز میشه آهسته معنیش چیست آهسته keep engine
What's the
low.
speed limit on this road? 30 miles per hour. 60 miles per hour. 50 miles per hour. 40 miles per hour.
جانماز منځونه دی وکړه. What's the speed limit on this road? That's 30 miles. 30 miles per hour.
When may you sound your vehicle's horn? To attract a friend's attention. To give you right of way. To make slower drivers move over. To warn others of your presence.
When may you sound your vehicle's horn? Okay, why would you warn other of your presence? What's the reason? چرا مردم هشدار میدین؟ چرا هارن میزنین؟ از خاطری چی؟ علتش چیست؟ What's the reason? Why would you use your horn? Why would you warn others of your presence? What's the reason? Yes, if you feel endangered. وقتی که خطر محسوس میکنین در او وقت. So to warn others of your presence. Yeah, when someone is putting you in danger, that's
Your car requires an MOT certificate. When is it legal to drive it without an MOT certificate? When driving the car with the owner's permission. When driving to an appointment at an MOT center. Up to 7 days after the old certificate has run out. When driving to an MOT center to arrange an appointment.
Your car requires an MOT certificate. When is it legal to drive it without an MOT certificate? When you take in it for the MOT test. When you take in it for the MOT test. So when driving to an appointment at an MOT center. Guys, could you please everyone just share the live once with your friends? And if you did not follow me, please do.
What should you do when you're driving in snowy conditions? Be ready to steer sharply. Use side lights only. Brake firmly and quickly. Brake gently in plenty of time.
Thank you, Mako. What should you do when you're driving in snowy conditions? کله چې په واورین موسم کې ډرایوینګ کوئ نو باید څه شی وکړئ؟ وقتی که برف باشه و شما ډرایوینگ میکنید باید چی کنید؟ break gently in plenty of time. باید با آرام بریک ها را استعمال کنید. break gently in plenty of
What
time.
does this traffic sign mean? No overtaking allowed. Give priority to oncoming traffic. Two-way traffic. One-way traffic only.
What does this traffic sign mean? These signs UBK, you didn't pass your test yet. What does this traffic sign mean? It says give priority to oncoming traffic. So whichever side got bigger arrow, they got right of way. Come side home chi. If you can't find date, you know what you do? You book it, and then you can easily find cancellation. Like when you're looking for it, it's hard to find date, but once you book it, when you book it, then you can find the date. Okay, 1 second, guys. Okay, so what does this traffic sign mean? Give priority.
You're driving your car. When may you use a handheld mobile phone? When you're receiving a call. When your car has automatic transmission. When you're driving at less than 30 miles per hour. When you've parked safely.
You're driving your car when may you use handheld mobile phone? Remind me at the end and I'll give you an idea. You're driving your car when may you use handheld mobile phone? When you're parked safely. وقتی که در یک جای محفوظ پارک هستین دو گلجان گل رو دقیقه ده تایم در کوشش کو کل نه هستی کل لسی کل تنیم.
What does the single yellow line along the side of the road mean? Waiting restrictions apply at certain times. No waiting at any time. It marks the edge of the road. No stopping at any time.
What does the single yellow line along the side of the road mean? Single yellow line. That's waiting restrictions apply at certain time. The London, the Manchester. Waiting restrictions apply at certain times. Certain times bazi waqtuna, certain times bazi waqta. Bazi waqta. War or bad plan.
What does this sign mean? Low bridge. Uneven road. Hump bridge. Traffic calming hum. Traffic calming hum.
What does this sign mean? Khalid Sarhadi Gorakha, low bridge na de. It's not low bridge. It's hum bridge. Hum bridge. Hum bridge. There is no specific sign for low bridge, but you will see there will be a bridge, and there will be like I'll show you at the end, guys. I'll show you at the end. Hazard ke defeal ko hazard ke khwal te mas video shta daga badi usal katale kana. Hum bridge. That's a hum bridge. What does this sign mean? That's
What can result when you travel for long distances in neutral, known as coasting? Reduction in control. Easier steering. Improvement in control. Increased fuel consumption. Increased fuel consumption.
What can result when you travel for long distances in neutral, known as coasting? کله چې د ډیر وخت لپاره په نیوټرل کې موټر بوځي نو څه شي کیږي نیوټرل موټر چې کله په ګیر کې نه وي reduction in control when your vehicle is in neutral you cannot control your vehicle with your engine there will be no engine braking کله چې موټر نیوټرل کې وي تاسو نشئ کولی چې په د موټر په انجن باندې خپل موتر کنترل کنی وقتی که موترتان در نیوترال باشه وقتی که موتر در گیر نباشه نمیتونین که موترتان کت گیر کنترل کنین و یا کت انجن چون که انجن بریک کار نمیکنه در اون صورت وقتی که موتر نیوترال باشه so reduction in
How should you rejoin the motorway after a breakdown on the hard shoulder? Keep your hazard lights flashing until you have safely rejoined the carriageway. Move straight out into the left-hand lane as you are not allowed to drive on the hard shoulder. Wait until a vehicle in the left-hand lane signals to you that it's safe to rejoin. Build up speed on the hard shoulder before looking for a safe gap in the traffic.
How should you rejoin the motorway after a breakdown on the hard shoulder? Okay, build up speed on the hard shoulder before looking for a safe gap. Okay, build up speed on the hard shoulder before looking for a safe gap in the traffic. گوره امیره فهمیدین که چی معنایش هست؟ پویش په دې باندې څه معنا لري؟ باید د فکرتان همی بیاید که همی چی معنی داره نه؟ گوره خاصی کل است تاسو وقتی که موترتان جور کردین با the hard shoulder باش ما برایتان اکسپلین کنیم کجاست خب اینجا ببینین خب ای که است اینه اگر موترتان این موترتان باشه نه و یا اگر موترتان اینجا می بود شما چی میکنین موترتان جور کردین امیجا درایوینگ شروع میکنین وقتی که سرعتتان خوب صحیح باشه مثل سرعت همی موترها که در این لین چپ است اما اگر فکر کنین اینجا موترها که در این لین است اگر سرعتشان 40 باشه همی سرعتتان امیجا در هارد شولدر تا 40 برسانین و هر جای که جای محفوظ دیدین داخل همی لین چپ برین گوره لکه تاسو دغلته موټرم جوړ کو دا هارد شولډر دی بله سپید به ورسره برابر کی دغه هارد شولډر دی څومره سپید کې چې دغلته موټران روان دي په دې لین کې اوس هغه په 500 کې رواني نو تاسو به هم دغه هارد شولډر باندې ډرایوینګ شروع کړئ چې تاسو سپید هم 500 ته ورسېدو نو چې کله هم خوندي ځای ولیدو محفوظ ځای ولیدو په دې لین کې خالی هملته به خپل موټر دننه کړئ نو د دې دا معنی ده How should you rejoin the motor after a breakdown on the hard shoulder? Build up speed on the hard shoulder before looking for a safe gap in the traffic. خپل سپید چې دی دا په هارد شولډر را جوړ کړئ دې نه مخکې چې کله خوندي ځای وګورئ په
What does this sign mean? Cars only. No cars. Motorcycles only. No motorcycles. No motorcycles.
What does this sign mean? So if it's a red O, the answer will start from no. So if it's a red O, the answer will start from no. وقتی که همی سرخ سرکل می باشه جوابش از نو شروع میشه. تقریبا 99% جوابا که هست از نو شروع میشه یا گانتش فرق داره فقط شاید یک دو دانه و تقریبا 99% جوابش از نو شروع میشه که سرخ چی باشه سرخ سرکل باشه کله هم چې داسې سور سرکل وي نو د هغې 99% جوابونه چې دي د نو نه شروع کېږي نو چې دی کې که موږ وګورو نو کارز دی یو نو موټر سایکل دی نو په دې دواړو کې کم یو صحیح راځي دا خو موټر سایکل ده نه نو نو موټر سایکل so no motorcycle.
You're on a country road. What should you expect to see coming towards you on your side of the road? Bicycles. Horse riders. Pedestrians. Motorcycles.
You're on a country road. What should you expect to see coming towards you on your side of the road? Okay, someone says bicycle. See Umair pedestrians. Okay. Why pedestrian? Why? The answer is pedestrian, but do you know why pedestrian? So if you have problem if you get confused in any answer, make sure you know the reasons of the answer. چې کله هم په کوم جواب کې غلطیږي نو کوشش وکړئ چې علت پیدا کړئ چې د څه د وجې اوس دلته pedestrian ولې pedestrian because on a country road most of country roads they do not have pavements, they don't have footpaths. That's why you look out for pedestrian. Country road, you know, the countryside roads, so roads that's far away from cities, countryside roads. Okay. حسین نوشته میکنیم شاید دوجا باشم so pedestrians because on a country road most of countryside road they do not have pavement. That's
why did the lorry driver start turning so late? Because the driver was making room for the cyclist. Because the lorry needs the room to turn. Because the driver was late checking their right mirror. Because the lorry set off too fast.
Why did the lorry start turning so late? Because it's a big car, it's a big vehicle. See, it's a massive vehicle and it needs more room to turn around. No, it's not making room for the cyclist. Because the lorry needs room to turn. از خاطری که همی درایور برای خودشون چون که موتر کلان است از او خاطر جای زیاد کار داره که دار بخوره از این خاطر ایقنا وقت دور خورد زکه سی غٹ موتر ده د دې د وجه دغه سی مخ کیزي او بیا راتاویږي زکه سی غټ موتر ډېر ځای په کار وسی راتاوسی.
You're waiting at a pelican crossing. What does it mean when the red light changes to flashing amber? Give way to pedestrians on the crossing. Get ready and go when the continuous amber light shows. Move off immediately without any hesitation. Wait for the green light before moving off.
You are at a pelican crossing. What does it mean when the red light changes to flashing amber? Okay, the answer is give way to pedestrian on the crossing. This is the answer. Give way to pedestrians on the crossing, but I'll explain this at the end, okay? Just remind me, it's 31st, and I'll explain this at the end. I think Marvis, you got it wrong as well. I'll explain this at the end because it will take some time.
What should you do if you become tired while you're driving on a motorway? Leave the motorway at the next exit and rest. Close all your windows and set the heating to warm. Increase your speed and turn up the radio volume. Pull up on the hard shoulder and change drivers.
What should you do if you become tired while you're driving on a motorway? کلسی په موټروی باندې ستړي سي باید څه شی وکړي؟ Leave the motorway at the next exit and rest. مخکې چې کوم خروجي لار درته راسي مخکې چې موټروی نه کوم سړک وتې لاره وتې هلته نه موټروی نه وځئ او آرام وکړئ.
What would suggest you're driving on an icy road? There's less tire noise. There's less transmission noise. There's less engine noise. There's less wind noise.
What would you suggest you're driving on an icy road? څه شی به تاسو ته دا ښایي چې تاسو په واورین سړک باندې روان یا په سړک باندې واوره ده. چی برتانی معلومات میده که موترتان در چیز است در سرکی که برف باشه. از چی میفهمین؟ There is less tire noise. Why would be less tire noise? چرا صدای تایر کم می باشه؟ ولی به د ټیر اواز کمی ځکه چې د ټیر او د سړک په منځ کې به واوره راغلی وي چې کله ستاسو ټیر سړک سره نه لګیږي نو ځکه اواز نه کوي اواز کم وي از خاطری که در مابین ټیرتان و در مابین سړک چیز میانی برف می از او خاطر صدایش کم می باشه. There is less tire noise.
If you're involved in a collision, what will reduce the risk of neck injury? Anti-lock brakes. A collapsible steering wheel. A properly adjusted head restraint. An air-sprung seat.
If you're involved in a collision, what will reduce the risk of neck injury? سکله اکسیډنټ موسی څه شی ستاسو مړی د خوږېدو نه بچ کوي شي. A properly adjusted head restraint. A properly adjusted head restraint, okay, which is a properly adjusted head restraint, which is this one. Okay, so that's a properly adjusted head restraint, and if the head restraint is not properly adjusted, that's what's gonna happen, or if there is no head restraint. And remember, there is another answer that comes about the head restraint, which is this one. Where should the head restraint be positioned for it to be most effective? The answer is at least as high as the eyes or top of the ears. That's the answer, the second one. Okay, so if you're involved in a collision, what will reduce the risk of neck injury? Properly.
What does this sign mean? End of controlled parking zone. No through road. End of traffic calming zone. Free parking zone ends.
What does this sign mean? Okay, see this sign, and there is this sign. So this one means controlled parking zone, and when this area finishes you will see this sign. وقتی که امی ساحه خلاص میشه شما این ساین میبینید معنیش است که این ساحه خلاص شد. کلاسی در کنترل زون ختم سی التا در ساین گوری دیدی در معنی است که در کنترل زون ختم سی. That's end of control zone. End of control parking zone.
You've stopped at a railway level crossing. What should you do if the red lights continue to flash after a train has gone by? Alert drivers behind you. Wait. Phone the signal operator. Proceed with caution.
You stopped at a railway level crossing. What should you do if the red lights continue to flash after a train has gone by? What should you do? You should wait. بعد انتظار. Why would we wait? What's the reason? Why should we wait? ولی باید انتظار وکړو because another train is coming. That's why the lights are still flashing. باید از این خاطر انتظار کنین که دیگه ریل میایه. بله another train is coming. ځکه انتظار وکړو چې بل ترین را روان ده. ها شاته ډریورانو ته ضرورت نشته هغې خبر کو. باید
You're driving on a motorway at night. Which lights should you have on if there are other vehicles just ahead of you? Side lights only. Dipped headlights. Front fog lights. Main beam headlights.
You're driving on a motorway at night. Which lights should you have on if there are other vehicles just ahead of you? Normal lights. Or dipped headlights. Should use dipped headlights.
What does this
Thank you,
sign
Sir.
mean?
Thank you, Ramazan.
Road liable to flooding. Quayside or riverbank. Steep hill downwards. Uneven road surface.
Okay, so that's water. That's, you see, this is water. Quayside or riverbank. همیشان از خاطر چیز یکی از کیساید و ریور بانک ای بریتان معلومات میده که اینجا لبی دریاست و یا لبی نهر میگه. چی میگه؟ Quayside means seaside or river bank. So quayside or river bank. معنیش ایست که اگر در جای کیساید ندید معنی ایست که او طرف آو است. آو سیند من پختو که چورت سیند و یا سینده او یا نهر ده.
You're driving on an open road in dry weather. What distance should you keep from the vehicle in front? 2 meters, 6 feet 6 inches. A 2-second time gap. 1 car length. 2 car lengths.
You're driving on an open road in dry weather. What distance should you keep from the vehicle in front? In a dry road, that's 2-second time gap. Dry 2, wet 4, and icy 20. Dry 2, wet or raining 4, and icy 20.
How can you avoid wasting fuel? By having your vehicle serviced regularly. By revving the engine in the lower gears. By keeping an empty roof rack on your vehicle. By driving at higher speeds where possible.
How can you avoid wasting fuel? By having your vehicle serviced regularly. وقتی که موتریتان وقت با وقت سرویس میکنین مصرف تیلیتون کم میباشه. کلاسی د موترم وقت با وقت سرویس کی مصرفم کمیگی. By having your vehicle serviced.
Which road users benefit from toucan crossings? Cyclists and pedestrians. Tram and train drivers. Car drivers and motorcyclists. Bus and lorry drivers.
Which road user benefit from toucan crossing? Toucan cross. So well, that two, one is cyclist and one is pedestrian. So cyclist and pedestrian.
Which sign means no motor vehicles allowed?
No motor vehicles allowed. So this is no motor vehicle. That's no cars, no overtaking, and that's no pedestrian. So that's no motor vehicle.
Which vehicle might have to take a different course from normal at a roundabout? Long vehicle. Sports car. Van. Estate car.
Which vehicle might have to take a different course from a normal at a roundabout? Long vehicle. Why long vehicle? Because they need more space to turn around. موترهای کلان چرا غیر معمولی در رانداباد دار میخوره؟ از خاطری که زیاد جا کار داره. از این خاطر long vehicle. Guys, if you
When are
want
you
any
allowed to use
questions,
hazard
ask
warning
away.
lights? When traveling during darkness without headlights. When parked on double yellow lines to visit a shop. When traveling slowly because you're lost. When stopped and temporarily obstructing traffic.
When are you allowed to use hazard warning lights؟ کله تاسو ته اجازه ویسی خطر چراغونه استعمال کی؟ چه وقت اجازه دارین که hazard لایت ها رو استعمال کنین؟ لایت های خطر. وقتی که استاد هستین و برای وقت موقت ترافیک بند کرده باشین. در اون صورت کلاسی ودریدلی هستی او د کم وخت لپاره د ترافیک مخه مو بنده کړی وي او یا هغې ته مو خنډ جوړ کړی وي نو باید hazard warning lights استعمال کړو. When stopped and temporarily obstructing traffic. Guys, I'm putting all these videos in YouTube, and if any one of you did not subscribe to my YouTube channel, that's the name, please do subscribe there. I'm putting all these videos on regular basis, and you can watch all these mock tests there. او که څوک دغه کې کولی سي دا ټول ټیسټونه چې دي هلته دغه کې وګورئ په دې چینل کې یوټیوب کې، او باقي د پښتو ټول کورس هم هلته ما اپلود کړی دی، هلته کتلی سي. اگر کسی همی سابسکرایب نکرده باشه همی یوتیوب چنل است، میتونین همی ویدیو رو اوجا ببینین. همی کلی کورس در این زبان موجا ماندیم دیده میتونین اوجا. So when are you allowed? So when stopped.
Which instrument panel warning light would show that headlights are on main beam?
Which instrument panel warning lights would show that headlights are on main beam? That's fault in the braking system, left indicator, full beam, and that's hazard. So that's what's the question on main beam? So that's main.
Where would you find these flashing red light signals? Level crossings. Zebra crossings. Motorway exits. Pelican crossings.
Where would you find these flashing red light signals? Where would you find these flashing red light signals? Level crossing. باش ما چیز میکنیم امشب جورش میکنیم.
What will affect your vehicle's stopping distance? The time of day. The condition of the tires. The street lighting. The speed limit.
څه شی ستاسو د موټر د ودرېدو په فاصله کې فرق راوستی شي؟ Condition of tires. Wasinori is not D. Condition of tires.
What's the main hazard shown in this picture? Vehicles turning right. Vehicles doing U-turns. The cyclist crossing the road. Parked cars around the corner.
What's the main hazard shown in this picture? Dummy picture main hazard cheers. The cyclist crossing the road. Cyclist crossing the road. امی سوال کدام سوال بود درباره فلاشینگ درباره flashing umber light?
You're on a country road. What should you expect to see coming towards you on your side of the road?
No, it wasn't. Oh, okay, yeah. So when changes to flashing umber, okay. You're waiting at a pelican crossing. What does it mean when the red light changes to flashing umber? Okay, so if you see when it's flashing umber, okay, just watch this here. Just watch. When the light is flashing umber, see? So when it's flashing umber, watch again. So if you look, when it's flashing umber, the light is towards the pedestrian, you can see it's flashing green. So flashing amber towards the driver and flashing green towards the pedestrian. So that's why we give way to any pedestrian on the road. Okay, give way to pedestrians on the crossing. Does that make sense? So that's why we should give way to pedestrian on the crossing, because when we see flashing amber light, the pedestrian will see flashing green, man. Yeah. So that's why we give way to them. Okay. 1 second.